Hello, everybody. Good evening from Galway, Ireland. What myself and Anna and I, what we're going to do this evening, we're going to tell a bedtime story for all the little teeny weenies in Dublin, America, everywhere around Galway and so on. We're going to we're going to tell a story about Mr Wrinkles. And now it's a bedtime story, and it can be a bedtime story for mummies and daddies as well, you know. So Nana is going to say the first half of the story, and Grandad will say the second half. So Nana, are you ready there?
Yes, I'm ready to go here.
Okay, lads. This is the story of Mr. Wrinkles.
Mr. Wrinkles, written by Robert Pierce and illustrated by Jacqueline East. Now this book, when I have finished, is going to go to Edison and Liam in America. And this is a story about lots of animals, but the main animal is the elephant. But we also have meerkats, and we have birds, and we have the giraffe. So here we go. Mr. Wrinkles was an elephant. And not just any elephant. He was the oldest, wisest elephant in all of Africa. He knew the names of all the other animals for miles around. Because let's not forget, an elephant never forgets. Mr. Wrinkles made the same long journey out to the waterhole every day. He spoke to all the brightly coloured birds who told him about the things they had seen on their travels. They told him about the lions out on the plain and the crocodiles who were making a nuisance of themselves in the river again. You can see the lions here and the crocodiles. There's two little lovely coloured birds up on the tree. He spoke to the giraffes who were already munching on their breakfast. It was their favourite, acacia leaves. They told him about the morning before the sun had risen and were kind enough to share some of their leaves with him. Mr. Wrinkles enjoyed having his breakfast at the waterhole very much, but could not stay long. He had to walk a long way to see his friend, Mr. Cheetah. Look at the cheetah, he's licking his foot. And there's Mr. Wrinkles with the giraffes at the waterhole. On his way, Mr. Wrinkles felt the ground move beneath him, and before he knew it, he was stuck in a big hole. Being wise, he did not panic. He knew that there must be a way out, but he just had to think. He had a long look around to see who was there, and he moved his legs a little. The hole was deep and cold and came up to his middle. After a few minutes, he decided to call out for help. Oh, look at Mr. Wrinkles, and he's stuck in a hole. Oh, let's see who comes to help him. "Help me," he shouted. "I'm stuck in a hole and I cannot move." He wriggled some more until finally he decided to stop and wait for someone to arrive. Very soon a tiny head appeared. It was the meerkat named Eddie. "Hello, Mr. Wrinkles. I was just out playing with my brothers and sisters and I thought I heard something. Do you need a hand?" "I do, my friend. Could you help me get out of this hole, please?" he said to the little meerkat. The meerkat is very small compared to the big elephant. Just then another tiny head appeared, then another and another, until he was completely surrounded by meerkats. Mr. Wrinkles knew all their names, but could not say hello to everybody. It would take far too long. He said, "Hello, everyone. Please, can you help me? I am stuck." "But how can we help you? You are so big and we are so small." Someone said. "Don't you worry," Eddie said. "I have an idea. There are lots of us. We will find someone to get you out of here. So all the meerkats, they all had their own little holes in the ground and they all popped up their little heads. Eddie and all his brothers and sisters began to spread out in search of help. It was not long until they found 3 giraffes called Spot, Speckle and Freckle, who were more than happy to help their old friend. The giraffes, with their long necks, each pulled a branch down from a nearby tree and told Mr. Wrinkles to hold on tight. He wrapped his trunk around the long branch and with a heave and a roar, he pulled as hard as he could, but he just moved a little bit. They stopped to rest because it was a very hot day. And now Grandad is going to take over and read the next part of the book.
As they tried to decide what to do, 100 birds of all different colours flew down from the bright sky to sit on his back. They flapped their wings with all their might to try to lift him, while he pulled again with his long trunk, and he moved a little bit more. A few hours later, as Mr. Wrinkles was thinking he would never get out, a big wild beast called Clive, with long pointy horns, found the group. "Hello, Mr. Wrinkles. I heard a hornbill saying that you were stuck. Can I offer you my assistance?" "Oh yes, please, Clive. I would appreciate that very much," said Mr. Wrinkles. Clive stood behind Mr. Wrinkles, and together they flapped and they pulled and they cheered and they pushed until, with a shout and a roar, Mr. Wrinkles climbed out of the hole. Hooray! Thank you, everyone, for being such good friends. Even though all of you are different, you were all very special indeed. This is a day I will never forget, said Mr. Wrinkles. Mr. Wrinkles celebrated that evening with all his friends, and he gave them a big party, and he thanked them and promised that he would always be there if they ever fell into a hole. So girls and boys, mammies and daddies, that was the story of Mr. Wrinkles. He got into trouble, but with the help of all his friends, they all gave him a great help to get out of the hole, and they all lived happy ever after. Nana, will we say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. I hope you liked the story.
Well done, Nana. That's a great story of Mr. Wrinkles, and I hope all the boys and girls, Oren and Loic, Edison and Liam, Adam and Emily, Niall and Brown and Emma now, and all the mummies and daddies, I hope you like the story of Mr. Wrinkles. So until the next time, Nana.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.